No butterflies were harmed in the filming of this podcast. From Rochester, New York, the home of thousands of disappointed Bills fans, God damn it, Brady, you again. This is FC3's Monkey Business, your one-stop shop for everything geeky, and everything can be geeky if you love it enough. And that is starring Tanya Mattress. It is starring Dan Carmen. It is starring Billy DeTore. It is guest starring Ann Liebig, and it is also starring me. You're somewhat, slightly, not so really, I'm not using the word humble. Host, Chris Frank. Hi, guys. How are we doing today?
Hi, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
By the time people hear this, Tom Brady may have won the Super Bowl.
That's true. It's a possibility. It's a 50-50 shot. It's going to be interesting.
Right now, we're about 12 hours away from knowing if he's won it or not. 11.
Yes.
True. We're not 12 hours away from it starting, just
right.
knowing.
Yes.
Right. We're 12 hours away from knowing that I probably haven't watched a minute of it. Well, maybe like the last few minutes just to see what happened, but that's about it. How we doing, gang?
Good.
Doing good.
Ian, I want that shirt.
I know.
What shirt? What do we post? Is this? I missed a post
Yeah,
somewhere?
that doesn't work good in a podcast.
Yeah. I'll send it to the. I don't know where I'm sending this to anymore.
Oh, put it up to the board on Facebook.
I'll do it right now.
Yes,
visual
gags do not work on podcasts. Have we not learned that yet?
Come on. That's Radio 101.
It does one and sending it to and fuck. Oh, we're both sending it to the podcast.
That's funny. Mando's Daycare. This is the way. Yep. Okay, that works.
I need that shirt.
Daycare, bounty hunting, asset recovery. Yeah, you know what? I think I do too, actually. That's kind of neat.
She sent it to Monkey House Media. I sent it to the Monkey Business podcast.
Well, whichever. We both saw it. Yeah. That's good stuff.
So
that's fun.
We don't watch the Super Bowl at our house. It's called which Marvel movie are we going to watch for 4 hours on Super Bowl day?
Well, I'm DMing my kids and their friends this afternoon, so that'll be cool. I've got a particularly twisted plot line in mind for them now. This is something I've been waiting to spring on them for a while, so it'll be fun.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy yesterday. I had
What a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah. It was because I listened to my Billy Joel station on Pandora in the morning while I'm getting ready for work and things like that. Shut up, Ian. She says who? And one of the songs came on. I think it was "Hooked on a Feeling" or whatever. And I'm just like, yep. I'm like, I gotta watch it. So yesterday,
I can't fight this feeling deep inside of me.
I'm sure we're already been turned off or banned or whatever because
nonsense. I'm an excellent singer.
Yeah. In regards to censorship,
music copyright.
Music copyright.
Yeah, we've been banned in North Korea. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. North Korea. What was Syria, Cuba,
Iran?
All of our biggest outlets.
We're still safe in Egypt though, so that works really well because we're huge.
Because I put on the Cruel Shoes in one of our podcasts.
Oh yeah. Was that last week? Did we do that last week?
No, it was a couple
weeks ago.
I put the actual audio in for the Cruel Shoes.
The Steve Martin routine we were joking about a couple weeks back.
I guess they don't like Steve Martin.
We got dinged for it.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened, to be honest with you. It is confounding.
YouTube goes through everything. YouTube is very good about going through and finding anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So that happened. We've been potentially banned in North Korea.
Again.
For hooked on Sorry, all of our North Korean fans out there.
Yes. Sorry. It almost feels like a badge of honor, to be honest with you.
What country is banning us today?
Is it wrong to be really happy about being banned in North Korea?
We should put a giant map up, the places that people have listened to us in with little green flags, and then where we've been banned with little red flags, just to see,
That'd be amazing. I think that'd be amazing because I know we've been listened to in Spain, France, and Italy. As soon as we transferred over to Transistor, we had like a huge spike. I cannot remember. I think it was in Switzerland or in France. We had a huge spike where like somebody downloaded almost our entire catalog and must have like binged us over the course of a couple of weeks. So that was neat. But yeah, that would be fun to kind of get a glimpse of where we are being listened to.
Okay,
fun.
so the visual that you guys can't see that I'm getting in picture messages is Anne's trying to steal dice over there, and she's like, "Ooh, dice!" And she sends me a picture of all these D6s. They're the red and gold ones. I said, "Those are Sean's." So,
is she sitting in your chair?
She's sitting in my chair.
Okay.
So Anne is currently sitting in a different room in your house or near you, or
she's we're both in the basement. I'm in my corner little studio office area, and she's on the opposite corner of the basement at the gaming table. So we're diagonally across from each other, but there's the stairs and everything, so we can't visually see each other. There's too much crap in the way.
Way too much. There's bookshelves and other stuff, but she's got a direct line. Like Chris knows exactly where she's sitting.
Yeah, no, I can see it all in my head because I've been there often enough.
Yeah, and you just pick up some of those dice and you throw it to the other end of the table, and you usually hit Chris because he sits across from me.
What dice? I don't know what dice you're talking about. They're not in my bag.
Yeah, there aren't a few thousand dice at that end of the table. No.
Stop stealing my dice,
woman.
The only time I steal is when she's sleeping.
And the basis of today's conversation is the relationship between Anne and Tanya, which I take entire credit for, by the way. This is entirely my fault.
Remember, don't talk to her. They're bad people.
That's gonna be part of the preamble. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna touch on that a little bit before we get into the main thing. But first things first, before we go to break real quick, I did the general, hey, how we doing, all of these people, but I want to check in with Dan. Dan, how you been feeling, man?
I've been doing all right.
You got an update, or is it basically status quo? Nothing major's changed lately?
Well, I mean, the big thing is that I'm going to be going through chemo starting at the end of this month for about 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
And is it going to be as intensive as it was previously? Is it? Do you have? Is it?
So the chemo is just two parts to the chemo. Before I was getting chemo and radiation. This one is just chemo, but I'll be doing it. There's an infusion. Before I was just taking pills for the chemo. I was still taking the same pills every day for like 2 weeks in a row, and then 1 week off. But also every 3 weeks I'll be getting an IV infusion of don't remember the name of it, but some stuff. So that's going to be, so that's like a 2-hour process to get the infusion there. So every 3 weeks, a 3-week cycle I have to go through for over a period of about 4 months, so the first, I get the infusion, 2 weeks of the pills, 1 week off, and then it starts over again type of thing. So maybe by the summer, and this is just more of a, there's no real sign of anything still there, but this is more of just to make sure. Yeah, try to, if anything is still floating around in there, any little nasty cancer cells are floating around in there, it's preemptive stripes to try to, to take them out now before they have a chance to plant themselves and grow and become even badder.
Yeah.
Badder.
Something worse.
Yes. So
it's hunting down, it's doing the final sweep to clear the building, basically.
Right. I could opt not to do this, and I can get my ileostomy reversed sooner, but I figured I'm still young, so let's get it done now. Let's clean it up now, and hopefully, reduce any chance for any reoccurrence later, and I'll deal with it. It just means I can't get the ileostomy reversed until this is done. So it'll be end of the summer then until I can get it reversed. So
all right.
So.
Better now than later, and then now you get it done now, you're going to have a long healthy life. When you wait later, you don't know what you're going to have. So
right, it might be okay, it might not be, who knows. And so that's why do it now, and then we'll
it's better to suck it up now and do the right thing and then risk it, essentially.
Right.
From my volunteer work that I've done with the American Cancer Society, I think you are making 100% the correct choice. 100%. From what I've seen in reoccurrences and non-reoccurrences and driving people to appointments and stuff, I think you're going to have the greater outcome.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Well, he doesn't have a choice in the matter, because basically I would be freaking useless without him. So,
If you need any meals, please tell me. I love to cook. I can't eat them because I'm doing this new healthy living, but I'd be more than happy to make a giant thing of mac and cheese and lasagnas. I made a whole bunch yesterday for a family with COVID, so let me know what you want.
Well, Zach loves the
Lasagnas, mac and cheese, whatever.
Zach loved the mac and cheese. I love the mac and cheese too. Josh doesn't eat anything, so I can't go on what he likes.
Bring him a dozen donuts. Got it.
Oh, he'd be your friend for life. Come on.
Oh, is that what it is? You have to bribe him with donuts? Okay, that's the lesson I haven't learned yet.
No, he's
How old is the boy now?
Josh is 8. He'll be 9 in May. So
She's 8.5 years. I still haven't learned the donut trick yet. That's amazing.
I like beignets too.
All right. Well, now I got Josh's number. I'm bringing donuts the next time I come out.
Doesn't he do chicken nuggets too?
yeah, that's one of the few things he'll eat.
Grilled cheese. He likes grilled cheese.
So what you're saying, Josh is actually Grogu in another life.
And Riker.
Or a normal 8-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's true too.
Really.
That also
But
works.
He doesn't eat hot dogs and things like that.
Oh, that's different.
No, he doesn't.
Riker has found the joys of DiGiorno pizza.
Oh boy.
It's so much cheaper than Mark's.
Well, there's that.
Actually, Tanya, we've got there's a garlic bread pepperoni pizza that is amazing. DiGiorno's.
I like garlic bread, but
it's my new
I had
favorite.
chicken crust pizza. Chicken crust pizza was really yummy.
All right, so I want to jump into the big topic of the day, right? So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the show. This is going to be one of those things. It's going to be one of those moments where I know I'm going to have some contribution because I've dealt with this. I started this, and I've also dealt with the situation at hand on a couple of occasions. But I definitely want to get to that. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, we'll be right back. So a couple of years ago, we met Anne, and we immediately were like, "Oh my God, she's so freaking cool! This is gonna be great." But unfortunately, there was a little bit of a boundary between us at this point because there was this whole like weird subtext of politics and whatnot in the entertainment industry here in Western New York. So we were like, we didn't get to know each other straight away. But as soon as we did, we were like, "Okay, this is cool." And then Anne came and joined the family, and I thought that was amazing because I love to bring people together. It's my thing. I did not anticipate what was going to happen next. I did not anticipate that not only would Tanya and Anne become good friends, they'd basically become sisters over the past few years here. And Anne, you have my sincerest condolences.
Hey!
I'm kidding, of course, because my love for Tanya is well known. So, with that being said, Anne brought a topic to our attention, which we were already kind of sort of cursory aware of. And so today is going to be kind of almost like, it's almost going to be like group therapy / Dr. Phil / just a little bit of entertainment. And we might be picking on Tanya a little bit today, and we apologize for that, sweetie. It's done with love, darling. It's done with...
That's okay. There is no intervention, though.
Yes.
There's
no way to intervene.
There's no way that this is an intervention.
Well, not yet, because the thing is there's no way we could possibly intervene because it's just, if you have access to something, you're going to do the thing. That's the thing. It's Tanya has a shopping addiction.
No,
it's retail therapy.
There's therapy, and then there's what you do. It's called overdosing. It's what you do. There's an entire difference.
Didn't go shopping after the podcast.
I know, we were talking about that.
Yes.
Just because I'm going, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to buy anything.
Which happens on the odd occasion, yes. But there's also been on several occasions where we've had to watch what we say in front of you, lest that item in question suddenly appear at our doors 7 to 10 business days later.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Don't even.
It's 2 days. With Prime, it's 2 days.
Depending on what it is.
This particular podcast topic came about when I got a right good laugh. This was just around Christmas time. I get a text from Anne saying, and I quote, because I saved it, Shopping with Tanya should be considered an Olympic sport. Did you just? Oh my God! See, this is just making it even worse, but in a fun way.
And I have earned the gold medal in it.
Yes, you have on several occasions.
Multiple gold medals.
Yes,
multiple.
No kidding.
Yes, across several platforms.
You're the Mark Spitz of shopping.
I was thinking of more like Sean Johnson or Simone Biles, but okay.
Well, I had a go old man reference because I'm an old man.
Yeah,
and he's. I think does Mark Spitz literally have the most gold medals ever?
He has been supplanted by. I can see his face.
Carl Lewis.
I'm googling
the newest guy, the American sensei. Oh my God, I can't think of his name at the moment. I can see his face.
Hulk Hogan.
Swimming guy, Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. Thank you.
Jeez,
Phelps.
I stink.
That's the one I was thinking.
Okay, I was going Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, he might actually outshop Tanya.
Yeah, well, Caitlyn Jenner has a slightly different budget than.
Okay,
than
all the
does.
Kardashians can outshop me, so let's. But.
See, here's the thing, though: the Kardashians have the ability to outshop you with one purchase.
True.
That can't be denied in any way, shape, or form. So,
see, I would be Tanya if I had more money to do it, though.
Thank you, Billy.
I look at Amazon. I almost hit buy now daily on things and go, no, I shouldn't really do that. How I stop myself sometimes is crazy.
No, girl, I ain't gonna do it.
Because there's like there's a foot tall Galactus pop vinyl that coming out soon that I need, but it's like $50, and no, I can't spend $50 on a Galactus pop vinyl, Funko Pop. But it does come with a little silver server.
See, that cannot be denied. That's a thing.
So I keep going back to that, and it's not on Amazon. It's just they announced it. It's at the you can order through your comic shop type of thing, and I keep thinking.
I know comic shops.
Chat. Yeah, I keep thinking of messaging chat. No, I shouldn't buy a $50 pop vinyl. Although I have a big Batman one that I bought a few years ago. That's like
there you go.
Tall, so.
And everyone can laugh right now.
Why is that? Tell me you found it and you just bought it for him.
Oh, bless me.
Nope.
Good. Don't buy it for me.
No, but once you get the photo, you'll see that I'm on Amazon.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Billy said it wasn't on Amazon. I'm like,
It's not, because it's like this giant one. These are the small ones.
I've got the small one.
It is a cloud.
August 14th, 2018, I moved into my house. That was moving day into my new house here, the house that I've been in now for what,
that
2.5 years at this point.
Wow.
It's been 2.5 years already.
It feels like yesterday.
It really does sometimes. There are days where I'm like walking through the house and it doesn't quite feel fully like it's mine. Like, oh, I gotta fix that so that I don't. I've even said to myself, oh, I should probably call the landlord. Oh, wait,
you are the landlord.
I'm the landlord in this case. So it's. But on August 4th, 2018, I moved in. Everybody came out of the woodwork to help me. Billy, Dan, Ann was. I think Ann. Did you? Ann stopped by.
I did.
Yep, I do remember Ann stopped by. Tanya was there. A ton of people came out of the woodwork. I was so humbled by that. It was amazing. And then everybody left by the end of the day, and so there I am in my house alone for the first time. I'm unpacking boxes, putting around. I'm making a mental list of the things I'm going to need to pick up. I'm like, you find the simple things that you didn't realize you didn't have until you're unpacking. Like, oh, I guess I lost that in the separation, I suppose. Oh, wait, So I'm making a list. On August 5th, 2018, Tanya stops by. She makes sure everything's getting settled in, and didn't even click. Right, just the list was out on the counter in the kitchen. Okay, cool. And August 6th of 2018, Tanya comes back with 3 large, a couple of Wegmans bags, some Walmart bags, a couple of Kohl's.
What did I buy?
You bought like a bunch of kitchen stuff. It was like basically. Oh
yes, the dish drain and all that type of
stuff like that. All of this random all this stuff that if you look at it as a collection, you're like, what the hell? This is so erratic, but it all made sense because it all fit in these little gaps of the kitchen. And I'm like,
it was a housewarming present.
Yeah, huh? So, but it was cute.
It would be no different than if anyone else moved into a new house and they needed something and things like that. I would go and get it.
Tell me how badly Dan needed the inflatable Yoda decoration for
needed that
for Christmas.
Well, actually, that's partly Anne's fault. She was the one that sent me the picture that she was at the Brockport Walmart looking at them or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I need one. Like I need, because I'm like, okay, I need one. And then she's like, yeah, I want one too, blah, 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 blah. And so she was looking, and they couldn't find them. Well, my Henrietta one had it. So I just ordered 2 of them. And then Anne's like, no, I'm getting cows. I really don't want the child. I'm like, oh, then I know someone that is going to get the child. And that's how Dan got the child.
Tanya, have you always been like this? Or was it a gradual progression? Or how did your shopping... how did your retail, I was going to say shopping addiction, but how did your retail therapy come to be?
I think it's gotten worse over the last 15, 20 years, but no, I don't think like growing up, I'm an only child, as everyone knows. So, I don't think, like looking back at like childhood and teens and things like that, I don't think I was like that, but I know like maybe in college that I would see something or whatever, but I don't know. I think it was after I like had my own discretionary money and things like that. And I think after, I can't remember when it was, but it was one of the BOCES opening day things. And it was definitely after I was diagnosed with being a type 2 diabetic. We were at Athena for like a superintendent's conference day, and we were listening to a Miss New York speak or whatever, and she was referencing their donut story. And if you like type up Miss New York donut story, I'm sure it's probably out there. But it's basically when someone's having a bad day or whatever, that just everything was going wrong, and then you just like walk into work or whatever, and then someone's like, here, I have donuts for today just because. And it's like just something that kind of like made your day. And it's like a cheer up type thing. And then I just happened, we had been on a little Lego minifigure kick at work. And I was getting like those blind bags and then randomly dropping them on coworkers' desks. And then they were like, ooh, what did I get? Type thing. And they would all like be real cheerful, and we had little Lego figures all over the building. Like we had the little banana guy and the little hot dog guy and the cheerleader, and I mean I still have them in a box. And the social worker that's attached to my classroom, that her office is right next door, she has her little cheerleader out type thing. So it's like all that type of stuff. And it's like that little thing that will just give somebody a smile when they're least expecting it. That's just kind of like how I am with stuff, and sometimes I'm just very, very impulsive, and I'm sorry, but really I'm not.
Apologize for. We're gonna pick on you.
I'm sorry, but really I'm not.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And so it's like when I see something, and I'm just like, oh, I think, and if I have extra stuff at that point, I'm like, oh, I think so and so would like that. And it's like getting Billy the Batman stuff, and then the T-shirt just because. I have a problem.
No. So Tanya, with you with gifts, okay? So I used to be extremely uncomfortable. I grew up I was the middle child. My older sister got everything. My little sister got everything because my older sister, was the older one. She got the mature stuff, and my little sister was the baby. So I got leftovers basically my whole life. So I've never been one that can accept gifts well. Mm-hmm. And when you first would start bringing stuff over to my house, I always felt like I needed to reciprocate. And then I realized that the joy for you is not in the shopping. The joy for you is you getting to know a person to find out what they like. And you making them happy makes you happy. And the smile on your face when you see, like, when you walk into my house and you hand me just something random, but it could be a dollar item, it could be a 50-cent item, but because you took the time to get to know me, to know that I love that little thing, makes me so happy that it makes you happy. And that's why I think you enjoy it so much, and how I've been actually able to accept people buying gifts for me now, because I've always been the gift giver. Like, even when it comes to my family, I buy everybody Christmas gifts. I get nothing. And I'm really okay with that, because I know that's just how it is. But when you give me a gift, I know that it comes from your heart, and it's not about trying to reciprocate something I did. So then when I buy you a gift, it's the same thing, you know? So like, you get to know Billy and you buy him something that's Billy related, you know Chris, so you know that he needed that stuff at that time, and he probably wouldn't have gone and get that stuff for weeks at a time because it's not on the top of his list, but because you know he's not going to go get that right away, and you go to the store and get it or order it. You're filling in the gaps in people's lives that make this whole team the team that it is. And so I'm not going to stop you from shopping. I mean, I'm going to tell you, hey, we can get that for a better price. But
we reserve the right to pick on you. We really do. But we all find it as part of who you are and get a kick out of it.
Hold on, my water sign is kicking in.
Oh,
I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm sorry.
But this is something I was thinking about. And I knew this was going to be a kind of a second piece to this overall conversation, because we knew we were all going to dogpile the love on Tanya, and then she was going to react. But that's the thing is, oh God, there was a point and I wanted to make it crap. It's
Tanya's
think about how Ann was saying, she had a hard time accepting because of what happened. We really are trained as human beings to repress our emotions a lot. We are trained to not show that emotion, to be humble even when we're doing something really cool. We can be amazing and feel bad about it. And this is a thing that has done nothing for us as a people. I know. I mean, we can Dr. Phil me personally for weeks and not do anything but scratch the surface. There's that quote that flits around so often, and it's been attributed to Nelson Mandela, but there was another guy who wrote it, which was actually copied from some woman a philosopher who wrote. But the general gist of it is who are we to play small? Right? We are gorgeous. We are talented. We are powerful. We are all these things. And if you don't live up to all of these attributes, then you're not serving God. You're not serving humanity. You're not doing. But that's the thing is, we're taught, don't brag, don't be out loud, don't do this thing, and so we're picking on Tanya a little bit for her shopping addiction, but I'm using it as a way to talk about how we as a people, this is not very geeky, right? Not very nerdy, but let's talk about ourselves a little bit better. Let's celebrate ourselves more. And you nailed it right on the head, and you couldn't have said, I don't think anybody could have said it better. It's not so much a materialistic addiction. She has this innate ability to learn the people around her, and she finds these little gestures to make your day better, to make you smile, to give you something to think about, to know that you are loved, to know that you are cared about, to know that somebody's got your back. And we resist these at first because that's what we're trained to do. We're not worth it, is basically how we feel.
And that really is how I feel. That's funny. You've psychoanalyzed me in the last 2.5 minutes.
And then, you know what? And here's the damn thing about it, Billy, is you are worth it, brother. I mean, I've gotten to know you over the past many years that we've been together now as friends. And, I see the humility, and I respect it and I appreciate it. But I need you to understand, dude, that you are so much cooler than you give yourself credit for.
And the funny thing is, you and you guys or whatever really do feel that way, and I really do feel the other way sometimes.
I know.
That's it's not an act. But the funny thing is, I write the blog for the Record Archive newsletter every week. And I personally think I do a pretty good job. I think it's pretty funny, pretty informative. But I can't help but make fun of myself through the course of the whole thing. You'll notice at least one or two self-deprecating jokes every week in it.
Right.
Just because I don't want to say that I think this is pretty good. No, I'd rather say this is pretty dopey, but here's what I think. Yeah. Because I do honestly feel both ways.
Right. I wonder what, and the thing is I wonder what we would be like if we were taught different. What would it be like if we were just allowed to be who we were meant to be? And if those people were jerks and assholes, then, so much, then folks would respond to that. Okay, that's great. But at least you're living, what's the term that's been popping around lately? You're living your authentic self, right? It's come up on several occasions lately. We've been talking about Dan because of his illness and because of his fight with that illness. A lot of people will call it struggle with an illness, but no, Dan has been fighting tooth and nail and kicking its ass and being determined and
he is going to take that down
and being outgoing and honest about it.
And he's being honest and open about it, right? I couldn't do that.
No,
I couldn't. I know I couldn't. And I've talked about it. I've made references to, we joke about the fact that of the two of us, Dan and I, who's the one who's gone skydiving, who's the one who's gone bungee jumping, who's the daredevil, and it ain't me, right? But that's because I have my own idiosyncrasies and my own,
foibles. I think you and I are very similar. I think, Chris.
We really are, Bill. We really are, and we have our public persona that we put on, and people, kind of attached to that. But then we also have behind the scenes. We both look at ourselves like we're frauds. Yeah. It almost feels like that's how I feel. At least there are times where I look at it and I'm like, wow, I really am. I'm winging it here, and people know it. People
and when I stand next to you, I'm like your little ventriloquist dummy.
Really, we all are next to him and Dan. We really all are.
I'm definitely not Jeff Dunham level, though. That's the thing. Yeah.
But back to Tanya and Dan. She is herself. You're right.
Yes, she really is.
Her emotions are right there. You know exactly what she's thinking at every point. And she is one of the kindest human beings I've ever met, to be honest with you.
Watch when she gets mad.
Well, I haven't had to deal with the mad part. So
I have. It's actually kind of adorable, to be honest. It really is.
It reminds me of the Tasmanian devil when she gets angry. It's so freaking cute.
Mm-hmm. Or I may have seen her mad, like when we were podcasting in the radio studio, but sometimes I can't tell because, like you said, it probably just comes off as adorable.
We sit there and go, oh, look at her. It's awesome.
I am not a clown. So the little picture that I sent to you yesterday, Chris, via Messenger, from Grogu, is my two moods. No, talk to me. I is angry. And then turned around. Please talk to me. I'm no longer angry.
Tanya and I have gotten close enough over the years that we just have no ability to stay angry with each other, but we get frustrated with each other all the time. We really do.
You can't let her angry shop.
No, I have tried, and it just backfires. It's bad. So
out of her weird shopping things. Not weird, but out of her, what are the weirdest gifts she's ever given you? I mean, because we all have that geeky side, and our geeky sides all go different which ways.
I
mean, the stuff that she's given me that all suit my personality are just like amazing. At the same time, I go, what the hell? Because she finds the coolest things, and I don't know where she finds them half the time.
Costco.
I can't think of anything weird.
At least the last one.
I can't think of anything weird, but I love how she represses her Yankee fandom to buy me Red Sox stuff every so often. I find that hilarious.
Oh, that is the hardest.
I have a bunch of Red Sox t-shirts because of Tanya, and she always makes a comment. She's like, "You're lucky I love you," and I'm like, "Yes, dear, I know."
That's the one that truly, truly grates when I. So,
Tanya, what's the weirdest
You know what
thing?
a year ago today was, Tanya?
A year ago today.
No?
it was
When the weirdest things we did together, we got our Grogu tattoos a year ago today.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I know it was February. What was so? It was the 6th. Was
it
7th?
I thought it was the 7th.
Today is
yeah.
the 7th.
Today's the 7th.
Yeah.
It was a year ago
it's
today.
Sunday.
Billy, you were asking a question though.
Yeah, I was curious if there's anything. What's the weirdest thing Tanya's bought herself to the point where she's going, "Why did I get that?" Is there anything where you've sort of regretted it, or at least thought it was kind of funny you got it for yourself?
She's thinking about it. She's contemplating.
Either that or she went shopping.
Either that or she went shopping, he says.
No, I'm still here. And I know I'm not on my phone and I'm not on Amazon. I don't know. I think anything I've bought in for myself over the years, I have every intention of this is what I'm going to use it for, this is what I'm going to do, this is whatever. And it's not necessarily a strange or a weird type thing.
You didn't plan for it to be weird. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, and not dice, Anne. I'm not sure.
Okay.
The tap shoes I made you buy?
The tap shoes? Well, the first pair of tap shoes you loaned me from Jess, and I don't know.
So from the very first gift that you gave me, okay,
which was
we're gonna go way back here. That was my wedding gift. Now, mind you, I didn't actually really want wedding gifts. I wanted people to come together and just party and have fun because this is my second marriage and we don't really need anything and we just wanted to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris officiating was plenty enough for me. So Tanya comes in these awesome shoes that she still hasn't worn again, I don't think.
No, I have not. Okay, so that might be one I regret. And the shoes, they're really, I love them. I love them, but god damn, they hurt my toes.
So you bought me stuff off my wedding registry that my mother-in-law made me go and do, which was kitchen stuff, which I still have, and it was great. It's awesome. But to the whole progression to where we are now, I mean, was it Wednesday night or Thursday night last week? It was Thursday night this past week. You walk in my house with like a 3-foot Grogu. Oh my god, he's so cute! But it was like here's some kitchen gadgets, and now she walks in and throws up. I think he's got to weigh like 10 pounds. This the child at me. It was so cute.
Can I tell you, just the joy on both yours and Jessica's face on Thursday, it was all worth it. It was totally worth it because I bought 2 of them. And I bought one for you and one for me. And when I got home myself on that Wednesday, Riker saw, he goes, "Oh my god, that's a huge Grogu." And I said, "Here, will you go put it up on my bed?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "The little one's mine now." Because you had gotten that little Grogu Squishable whenever a comic chick night at Walgreens that I stopped and got one for myself before Christmas. And I kind of held it because I knew that Riker was getting a Build-A-Bear. And I didn't want him to necessarily see it and want to steal that one before Nana gave him his Build-A-Bear.
Mm-hmm.
So now when Riker saw the big one come in to the house, he goes, "Oh, that little one's now mine." I'm like, "Okay, you can have the little one." So I was able to give the little one up. And can I tell you, I put the Grogu against my pillows yesterday on my bed, and I leaned against it, and it had the most firm backrest for watching Guardians of the Galaxy yesterday. It was like the perfect thing. So I'm just like, yes. And Riker was wrestling with it and things like that. So
relative of size, just so you know, the listeners can get a relative of how big he is. He fits in my husband's recliner and takes up the whole main seat.
Wow.
And his head comes right to the headrest.
Yeah.
He's a squishable. And oh my god, he is just like pure joy. Like I keep moving him around the house in different places because he just makes you smile when you see him.
So in other words, what Tanya and Ann are saying is size matters.
Yes.
At least for that, yes. And I found him at Costco. So they had other ones. So if you're the geeky fan, they had Minnie Mouse. They had Chewbacca. That were also the same size, and it was just funny because I was in Costco because Anne needed Peter Pan peanut butter in the bigger jars. She's like, if you're ever in Costco, look and see if they have it for my mother-in-law. Okay. Sure enough, they don't have it. So I'm on the phone with Anne. Meanwhile, I'd already run into my aunt and uncle in there, and I was talking to my mom, and then I was talking to Anne. And I came around the corner near the pharmacy area, and I saw a couple late teens, early 20 girls with a cart, and they had a Baby Yoda one in there. And I'm like, Anne could tell you my voice changed. I'm like, oh, where did you find that?
Oh God, it was so bad. She actually then started FaceTiming me as she's looking through the giant tub of them in Costco. And then she sends me a picture of two of them in the cart. The two of them took up the entire cart. And she is like, I got him, walking through Costco with me on FaceTime. It was awesome.
Can I tell
so
you
this is Olympic shopping with Tanya, by the way.
Yes.
Well, you started it all because we were, it was in December, and you were looking for gifts for the family that we adopted. And we went to Hammer Girl Anime, and I'm like, well, let's go to Hot Topic because we might be able to find something else. This is before I knew that Hot Topic and Marketplace Mall was closing. And because normally Hot Topic has got a ton of stuff, but then she's like, okay, and we walked in, and how much would I have spent if everything had been on regular price? Well over like $200.
Yeah, it was like $219 or it was a lot. It was over $200.
However, I got everything for less than $60 between everything being on sale and all the mall gift cards that I had stuffed in my purse from so many years ago.
Yes, the term mall gift card should be the whole, Tanya shopping Olympic sport kind of aspect thing.
I had so many. I had like 3 of them in my purse, and one wouldn't even work or whatever. So, and
yeah, but even then, with the gift cards, it was still only like $60. I mean, it really wasn't much. Even just using the gift cards, I mean, it was a really good deal. And you got the 13th Doctor jacket.
Doctor's jacket for like $20 some odd. Yeah, that one was the buy. So, yeah, and the 13th Doctor sonic screwdriver too.
You're a great shopper, but the fact that you could hold on to gift cards to me is amazing. When I get a gift card, it's spent within a week or two. Usually.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, sometimes I forget that they're in there. Because
that's part of the charm, I suppose.
It's in a different part of my purse. So I have mini backpacks. I have a Star Wars one with the droids on it, and then my mom got me a bigger one for Christmas that's got Grogu on it. And so in there I have my 2 wallets that carry like my insurance cards carry in one of them, and then my license and stuff I carry in the other one, and then my credit cards are in a totally different one. Well, then I've got 2 Ipsy bags in there, one for feminine hygiene products that I carry with me everywhere, no matter if I need it or if I'm at dance class or whatever, and one of the girls needs something. There, I always usually carry stuff with me. And then my other Ipsy bags have all my gift cards and my Dave & Buster's cards and everything else that I carry in there. So I'm just trying to figure out where stuff is. So I happen to be at the mall, and I'm like, oh, Ann, let's see what I have in my purse for gift cards.
So this right here shows you ping, 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 Olympic level bronze. I have a separate purse for gift cards.
Bitch.
Never noticed. No, never noticed at all.
I hate you all.
No, you don't.
We love you though.
No, you don't.
Well, every time. Okay, so Tanya and I have gone to a lot of events over the last couple of years together between Toricon and mini cons, and there's things that we hide her purse for. I mean, at Toricon, like, you could see her slowly inching toward the guy selling the dice. Like, you would see her just slowly staring over there into space. And then 10 minutes later, she'd be over there looking through them. And then I'm taking her back to the table. And then you see her just kind of staring wantingly over at them again. And this happened for 2 whole days. And celebrated on the way home because she bought none.
They were too freaking expensive.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, I didn't buy any. But yeah.
We can go out and do and buy nothing, like you went to Ulta that one day and didn't buy anything, and I spent all the money. So
can I tell you, I so was planning on going back and getting the Lisa Franklin palette for you.
Ooh.
I was so planning on doing that for you for Christmas, and then I went a totally different way.
Good. Because I have like 22 makeup palettes, eyeshadow palettes right now.
As someone that used to work in a warehouse, the term palette is a completely different thing, and I just keep picturing these huge skid loads of makeup.
Okay, so Billy, I collect makeup. It's not anything nobody knows. But I have eyeshadow palettes. They're as big as a laptop, but when you open them, there's like between 36 and 48 colors in each one. And I have several of them, including, the child one that's actually only has like 9 colors in it. But
wait, I mean, there's a Baby Yoda
eyeshadow palette. Yep, I got it from Anne for Christmas.
It's green and green, and then
there's different colored greens and browns and things like that.
They have cool names. Like one of them's like what are the names? I'm not going to have to look them up now. They just got cool names,
Fat Frog Red.
Yeah, and like I just ordered for her.
Red. It's yummy.
I just ordered for her for her birthday. She already knows about it, but it's the Mandalorian, the child makeup brush holders.
It's Grogu in his little pram.
Oh wow!
That holds brushes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but so I totally embrace her shopping habit now too, because and it's not like I have to reciprocate with her now. I don't have to, but oh my God, it's so fun sometimes.
Can I tell you, like, the cheesiest stuff I find in like Five Below? That's like Grogu and Baby Yoda and things like that, and just stupid stuff like that. So
yeah. Okay, so the names are Precious Cargo, Right Hand Mando, Just Like a Tattooing, Sip and Soup, Babyface, The Force, Little Frog, Float Your Crib, and Droid Protocol.
Wow.
Wow. I have an Avengers
palette out on that one at this point.
I have the Avengers palette too that we got right before show 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I remember that one. Yep.
Because when I was out and about, and then whatever on that Friday, that was the day that it was coming out or something of the show, and I happened to be in Henrietta before I had to go up, and Ian's like, "Stop at Ulta." I'm like, "Okay."
So to circle back around, this is sort of my fault for being the ultimate enabler. And I
enable my shopping.
No apologies. No apologies here. None whatsoever. Just saying.
Yeah. But if you want ever, if you're needing a day, you need to de-stress, have fun, get some good laughs in, get your steps in. Because you're gonna, marathon shop with Tanya. I mean, I think in 4 hours.
Christmas shopping with Tanya, yes, that's definitely.
Yeah. Just go ask Tanya. Hey, I need to go pick up a couple of things. I mean, we went to the mall, we went to Ulta. Oh, even just her and I in Walmart are freaking awesome. Like, it's so much.
I turned your hair blue.
Yes, let's go to the mall. We go to the mall. Oh no, we go to Walmart, just do a little bit of shopping. We leave the mall, and then we leave Walmart, and when we go and get martinis, and then we go home and turn Anne's hair blue after she bleached it almost completely white.
Craziness.
Still pink. No, and then Chris gets back to saying that don't mention that you potentially need anything. or are looking at something or whatever, unless you put the caveat, don't you even think about sending it to me.
Yeah. So like with you, I know I can say, hey, this is a cool thing. What do you think? And you'll give me your opinion. Like I can say, do you think this will last? Will it stand up? And you'll go ahead and you'll research the heck out of something and say, probably not, but maybe you should try this brand if I think it's something that if you think it's something that's different than we could use.
I didn't pull the trigger on the Cricut. I didn't pull the trigger on the Cricut machine yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't, because I don't like some of the reviews. You don't like some of the reviews. The price just doesn't seem to be there for the price point. So, we are doing our research, and if we find one on sale super cheap, we got the money. We'll jump on it.
Did you say Cricut machine?
Yes.
What's a Cricut machine? Does it play like English baseball or?
It's a vinyl cutting machine.
Oh, okay.
So you can put you program things in, like we could put Simi in, and you cut the vinyl, and you can put it on a T-shirt and iron it on and keep it there.
For
all different
those
things,
custom made like things that you see on Facebook or whatever. That says like Wonder Woman or whatever. A lot of people are doing that through like Etsy stores and things like that too.
Can you put it on like pint glasses?
Yes.
I think, a friend of mine gave me a Batman glass made with that type of thing. Okay, now I know what you mean. I didn't know if you had like an insect that rubbed its legs together.
No.
Okay.
That sounds funny like that. It's CRICUT.
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking at that. I've been looking at a couple of different brands too to see, because there's some higher end ones out there that are more money, but that seem to be worth it more because they can cut more than 4 things at a time. But anyway, I digress. But with you,
we have to digress. It's kind of part of our charter.
Part of our shopping thing that we talked about it way back when, and I think didn't we talk about this in like August or something?
Yeah,
possible.
And Dan's like, "What's this?" Blah 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 blah, and whatever. And we've done a ton of research and didn't pull the trigger on it. But it's something that we talked about, and we were looking at shopping, and we were at Joann's, and we were at here, and things like that. And
we're going to continue to look, but we'll get there eventually. Yes. So with you, we look at that stuff. With my husband is also a shopping addict, but at a completely different level.
He likes cooler stuff. I can tell.
No more Batman things for you, Billy.
He watched our Comic Chicks video, Tanya. He watched our Comic Chicks video this week, and he was like, next week I'm just going to pull out what boxes you are going to open, so I at least know, you guys aren't going to be doing 45 minutes of 2 boxes. I was like, okay, that's a better idea. But
you pulled out 3 boxes, and in one of the boxes it was as big as Grogu.
Yeah, he was huge. Yeah, but he has when he shops, it's completely different. He focuses in on a certain comic or a certain series, and he super focuses in on it until he gets that whole series.
He gets all the variant covers, right?
Either all the variants or like now. Right now, he's working on the 80s run of Captain America and the 80s runs of Iron Man.
Okay. Yeah, I know how that is. I got the entire 70s, 80s runs of Superman family, and right now I'm 3 issues away from the rest of the Batman family comics I need. So, yeah, I get that.
That's what he's doing, but
he's cool. Like I said.
But then it's also G.I. Joes. And I'm like, okay, we got to choose one or the other. But and Tanya can focus on, and that's the difference between male brains and female brains. I'm going to tell you this point out blank. Tanya can focus on several things at once and shop from numerous things. Mm-hmm. Where men can like focus in on maybe 2 things at a time.
There was a comedian, God, I can't think of his name, Canyon Man. The guy who did the Canyon Man routine. Schneider, thank you. He had this great thing about basically just retail therapy, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, women shop, men buy. And then he would emphasize the point by going, a man says, I'm cold, goes into the store, buys a coat, walks out, goes, I'm not cold anymore, goes on with his day. women have to see this store. Here's a really great deal over here, but we have to check this store out of here. So there's a difference in how it's approached. It's funny, but it's all the approach.
I love Rich, and I remember that routine. That's perfect. Perfect example.
So where Tanya she's just kind of going through and she's looking at stuff and she's checking things out and she's exploring and she's looking for the details and whatnot. Wade has a mission. He has a plan. So it's the difference. That's basically the difference right there. And there's nobody's right or wrong. Nobody's right or wrong.
Yeah,
it's funny.
But Tanya's not about filling up space. Tanya's about just buying things she thinks are going to make others feel better.
Exactly.
Where
that's also
I cleaned off our back porch so that I could make room to have our new washing machine delivered. And Wade goes, "Oh, there's so much more room out here now." And he's like, "How many more boxes of comics can I buy?"
No.
Because in Wade's mind, the back porch is the comic book storage area. It's not a machine, washing machine storage area. It's not. So okay,
you guys will appreciate this because Tanya's going to understand this too with me. I am putting a feature wall in my living room. Okay. So because I want to do a feature wall of just pallet boards, because I bought a whole bunch of frames that are made of pallet boards and then have the UV rated glass so that I could put the G.I. Joe comics in them.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's going to be, a whole G.I. Joe wall for, my husband. And I told him I need a table saw to cut all the wood, the pallets. Can you, go to the farm and grab one of the saw, either a bandsaw or whatever. He's like, "Oh yeah, I have a table saw." I said, "Oh, okay, good. Can you get it?" He's like, "No." He literally said no. I said, "Why not?" He's like, "Well, it's in the G.I. Joe room and it's completely covered in G.I. Joes. And it's going to take me like a week and a half to move all the G.I. Joe stuff off to get to the saw." I said, "Okay." He's like, "So why don't you just buy a new saw?" I was like, "What?"
Jesus.
He says, "Go buy a new table saw."
Now, in reality, at that point, I can understand that, but I would actually say, "And let's go to the G.I. Joe room and we'll start rearranging it to get to that."
Yeah.
Because at that point, if it was, I can't find the hammer, I'll just go buy another one because it's like $5 or $6. That's one thing compared to like a couple $100 table saw.
Billy, I got to ask a question. This is a little slightly off topic, but it's basically a clarifying kind of a thing. You've been involved in morning radio for a long time now. Mm-hmm. Do we sound like a morning show at this point?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just lots of tangents and digressions and.
I've been wondering about that lately. I'm like, I think we don't qualify as a geek podcast anymore. We definitely have turned into morning show.
There's good morning shows and bad morning shows, and there's good morning shows that are sometimes bad and bad morning shows that are sometimes good. And that's us. Without the live commercials.
There you go.
And Ann, I do appreciate your correct use of the word pallet in that last conversation.
My warehouse guy at work has been saving me pallets for 3 years for this, okay? Because I do have a warehouse where I work. It's kind of, we do a lot of logistics. Mm-hmm. So he has been strategically saving me the good pallets that have boards made of maple, oak, or any of the other harder woods, not just pine, so that when I do the pallet wall, it's nicer. But, oh man, I'm just going... At this point, maybe I should just pay Sean to come and help me because it might be cheaper than buying a table saw.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not even offering his services because
he's still recovering from the chicken coop.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to fix the chicken coop. So I'm not even worried. Like I just laugh. And no, Tanya, we can't go into the G.I. Joe room. I will never go into the G.I. Joe room.
Which one is the G.I. Joe room?
It's at the farm.
Oh,
it's at the farm. It is. Yep. It is in the farmhouse basement.
Okay.
And it's the room that they used to butcher animals in, I think.
Oh.
Okay. So it used to be
it's like
claw.
Yeah, because I guess it used to be like it's like the most weatherproof room down there. So, and everything is in Rubbermaid totes that are sealed with desiccant in them, and like. But I don't go into that basement because imagine 1860s dirt floor, cobblestone basement.
Oh yeah,
it's like my
That's
parents'
what I grew up with.
basement.
Yeah.
My first part of my parents' basement is poured concrete, and then the back part is all a dirt root cellar.
That's
why I don't go in my basement.
Yeah.
I refuse to go in my basement. Our basement is the cistern still collects water.
That's great.
Creepy.
You're ready for the apocalypse.
My husband came down, is now talking to Anne about being ready for the apocalypse.
Yeah, well, we pretty much are. I mean, after the shopping experience lately, I mean, the shopping with my husband and my mother-in-law, I mean, we went to Sam's Club 2 weekends ago. Okay, yes, I drove to Buffalo to go to Sam's because my husband eats Parmesan cheese, and that's where we have to stock up on it.
They don't have it at the Sam's in Greece?
No, it has
Sam's
to be.
in Rochester's no longer around.
I did not know that. All
Yeah,
right.
and he goes through like 6.5 pounds of Parmesan every month. So,
he's very cheesy.
He's very cheesy. But between her and I mean, it would have made Tanya very proud, but she couldn't have fit in the car with us. But we could barely close the doors of her RAV4. We put so much stuff into that thing.
I love you too. I really do.
I wasn't shopping with them.
We could. You want to go to Sam's today? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not going to Buffalo.
And I will say that last week we discussed Super Bowl foods. The Super Bowl is tonight as we record. So Susan and I are going to go out and pick up some food after we record. And I'm going to change into my Justice League t-shirt that Tanya bought me a couple years ago.
Yay!
Nice.
I was inspired by this podcast to go get out my Justice League shirt.
There you go.
Anybody remember 3D Doritos? Because I have to tell you a random thing, because Sam's Club has 3D Doritos.
How old are they? Those were years ago. They still exist?
I know.
I have no
At Sam's Club, they do.
They just came back out, but they're like a sweet chile one.
Oh.
But I don't know. My husband, I bought them, and there was a sign at Sam's Club that said it was before the Bills lost, so they knew they weren't going to the Super Bowl. So there was like that big game weekend. There was a sign. It was like, buy the 3D Doritos. It was the last time the Bills went to the Super Bowl. These were out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Didn't they debut during the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I remember the ad. It was, I think, it was a girl and a guy in a laundromat doing like karate or something.
Isn't that how all good commercials are?
If I remember the right ad.
Oh, the supermodel doing the thing in the laundromat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those now. Wow. Oh, my God. I haven't thought about that in a while.
And the fact I didn't have to Google it scares me.
Yeah, me too. So, Billy, on this Galacticus. Okay, so I'm looking at this Galacticus.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it Cloud?
No. He's a big guy with a purple helmet.
Yeah, I'm looking at him like. So you use Previews World to order your comics?
No, I don't. I was just trying to figure out if there's a way to sign up for an account, or I just tell Chet what I want and he gets it for me.
Yeah, you need to ask Chet, because we use this to order our comics through First Print. So we go in, we have an account, we go through everything, and we click off every comic that we want, and we have to do it 2 months ahead of time. And then, so First Print Comic then orders based on us going into here, because we have an account through them. I think Chet might be able to sign you up for the same thing.
Yeah, I'm on his email list, and he sends the list of what comes out every week. And yeah, I know I can. I just don't know if I want to. I don't want to turn into the shopaholic. That's Tanya's job in this crew.
Milieu.
Well, I think it was worse when he used to get the spreadsheet, because we used to go get a spreadsheet, and it would 2 months ahead of time, and he would just click off the ones you wanted. I would be like, oh, yeah, okay. But now that he sees the covers, because the Previews World shows all the covers even 2 months in advance, he's like, oh, I like that one. Ooh, I like that one. I thought the list would get smaller, and it's like doubled.
Now, I read lots of articles about what's coming out, so I can still, like, 2 months out, email Chet, hey, Chet, I want this new Superman red and blue. And he'll, okay, no problem. So that's how I do it, because I'm not smart enough to figure out this Previews World thing. Or I would wind up buying too much and go, oh, that looks nice. Like your husband.
Yeah, that's what my husband does. So welcome to my world.
All right, so enough of this for now.
Oh my goodness gracious!
What?
Let's see. The funniest scene in Avengers just got immortalized by Funko Pops. You ever tried shawarma?
Oh wow! Yeah, we have actually.
Yes, shawarma's good. So they have the Funko Pop Deluxe Marvel Avengers Victory Shawarma Series, Bruce Banner, Tony Stark at Amazon.com. That they are different parts of like the table, and I don't know if they interlock or whatever, but it would be the final scene of the end scene of Avengers.
The tag scene.
The post-credit scene, yeah.
Yeah. They made a Funko of it.
Yes.
Fantastic.
That's funny.
It says the 6 Shawarma Series Funko Pops aren't the only new Avengers items from Funko announced. The Avengers Assemble collection include all 6 original Avengers in their costumes from the Battle of New York.
Who would have guessed those Funko Pops would be the most popular toys in the world?
And
I remember when somebody asked me if they were going to be if there was somebody selling Funko Pops at FC3, the first one, and I had no idea what the heck a Funko Pop was.
Oh, now it says collectors of all the figurines can piece their platforms together to form the iconic scene in front of the Grand Central Terminal. I think I want it.
I know I would. That'd be kind of
fun. Sighing over there. Ooh, Hawkeye! I want the Hawkeye one. My birthday's coming.
You know, I'm starting to think that maybe somebody in this FC3 board needs to register as a Funko Pop dealer just so we can get our fixes and get them cheaper. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's viable.
It doesn't cost that much to register as a dealer, and you only have to order so many at a time. Or I mean, we could really just fill Tanya's whole house up, and she'd be happy.
There you go.
And Laura.
Oh yeah, and Laura. So again, I'm going to say this on that series, Marvel 616. You actually get to take a whole tour inside of the Funko factory.
I got to remember to watch that.
I haven't got to that one yet.
When is that podcast? Is that next week?
I don't
remember.
That's still a week away. How are we supposed to know?
I don't know. I need to know what homework I have to do for next week. So I didn't necessarily have to do a ton of homework for this one.
No, I'm pretty sure you did plenty of homework for this one.
Well, over the years, yes.
Too funny.
How many sets of dice do you own? I think this should definitely be like in Tanya's shopping addiction. How many sets of dice?
I don't know.
Is it more than 50?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She has like a whole little like organizing tray.
You have those little drawers that you can put nuts and bolts and stuff in it.
She has several of them.
Yes, I have.
And each one has its own individual dice set.
And some of them have 2 sets in it that are very similar colors.
Right.
Like I'm sitting right next to some of them, and I just counted like 75 sets.
Wow.
And some have 2 in there.
And I seen around the room, there's little more sets all over the place.
Clickety clackety, I roll for a tackety. All right, kids, we're gonna wrap up at this point, but I want to hear from our listeners, not just shopping things or things that you like to shop for, but tell us a little bit more about we had this little spot in the middle where we were Dr. filling the hell out of each other for a little bit. Tell us some of the stuff that you would be doing if you didn't get in your own way. I want to talk about that stuff too. That's another podcast coming up. I can guarantee it. So think about that. Be a part of it. And whatever you do, don't mention in front of Tanya the things that you like to buy for yourself. Just saying. And we'll be back after these brief messages. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes. Hope you're having a fun time listening to us. I hope people have as much fun listening to us as we do talking to each other, really. I think that's the key to it at this point. Because this is definitely not, for the years that we've been doing this is definitely not a job. This is thoroughly an adventure to hang out with you guys on a regular basis, and I love every frigging minute of it. We have a new way of putting together all the ways to find our stuff. We've jumped on the Linktree bandwagon this time, folks. So It's linktr.ee/Mighty Monkey. Okay, and so everything that we have is pretty much in that one easy to find spot. So the FC3 website, our Facebook, have I added Twitter? I haven't added the Twitter. I have to add the Twitter and the Instagram. So I'll make sure that this is going to be a long list of stuff, but our Patreon is on it. Our podcasts are on it, both this one and our Gamer Street Irregulars sistership over there with Chrissy and James. All the ways to find all of our cool stuff is on it. And as of today, you can buy us a coffee. Dan, tell us a little bit more about that.
It's a site we came across, buymeacoffee.com, and just another way to help support us. Buy us a coffee. It's a few bucks, and you don't have to sign up for anything. You just give us a one-time donation, or you could sign up if you want. It allows some flexibility, and as we can play with it, we'll add some more stuff. There'll be a lot. You can add like one-time things. So, pay $100 for Chris to show up at your party, your birthday party, kind of thing.
Or you can pay us $100 for me to not show up too. So.
There you go. See, they got all kinds of things. So
no, God, keep Chris home. Keep Chris home.
I could be a personal shopper.
There you go.
Tanya's go shopping trip with Tanya. There's a good
She
one.
will get in your head after about an hour's conversation, and then find all the really cool things that you've been wanting to get your hands on, and help you find your stuff.
That'd be a great extra ad.
Yeah.
But
or Anne can do your makeup.
So yeah, so give us some ideas, anything that you might be interested in, or whatever. We're just trying to however we can help you engage us. How can we engage you?
How we can do things to help you out, entertain you.
Yeah, how can we have fun? I mean, this is all about having fun. Everything is about having fun. This whole convention, all these podcasts, Nerd World News. We're trying to have fun.
Mm-hmm. So, and so far so good.
Yeah, I think so.
Good. So yeah, look for that, and I know I have it in my Twitter. I'm pretty sure I have it on. Oh my God, where did I put? Oh, I put it on my TikTok as well. I think we'll get it up on the.
We'll get it on the site. We'll get
on
it
the Facebook and on the website. So we're going to be sprinkling it around. So linktr, so linktr.ee/Mighty Monkey, and you will come right to our link tree with all of the cool stuff. And like I said, it's going to be a long list because I'm going to make sure to add our Facebook and our Twitter and our Instagram, so that you can find us and follow us to wherever the entertainment is. That's the basic, that's that tagline. You'll hear that in a few minutes. But before we get to that spot in our day, it is time to have our question of the week. So, and since this is the first time you've been able to hang out for an entire podcast without getting kicked off or anything like that, you get to pick the number between 1 and 400 and what? Where are we now? 24?
453.
453. I knew it was up there.
Let's see. 77, because my lucky number is 7.
There you go.
77. Let's see.
77.
Oh, that's already been picked.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we have to get 777 questions just to make sure that we can get to.
All right, I'll work on that. Okay, but not that.
No, we're good. Just go with 120.
Okay.
120. If you were a ghost and could possess people, what would you make them do?
Oh, that's so wrong. Oh, my stars.
Not touching it.
Oh, yes, you are.
I guess can we pick who we possess?
Am I answering first?
I don't know.
Does anyone have an answer?
I'm formulating one right now. I'm trying to formulate one that would actually be socially acceptable. So.
Yeah. Which direction do you want to go with the answer? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I said I wasn't touching this one.
You can't touch this.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll do a throwaway one, and then we'll pick another number. Okay. So if I were able to have that ability, if I were a ghost and I could, possess people and have them actually do something, it would be to go around randomly hugging people, because more folks need to do that. Well, not right now because of the pandemic, obviously, but I'm expecting that I will probably be long-lived and there will be no pandemics by the time I'm actually slipped the mortal coil, right? Or at least I can hope, knock on wood. But yeah, there needs to be a lot more random hugging going on. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, hug, pat, pat on the shoulder, stuff like that. Because we are better off when we're spreading joy than we are spreading the chaos. So definitely smiling a lot more. People will be smiling a lot more, waving to each other as you walk past each other, stuff like that. So that needs to happen. And I would make that happen.
It's a good one.
And then there'd be a lot of really obnoxious dancing and waving around like you were like the inflatable in front of an insurance store.
Wave your arms like you don't care.
Yep. Damn.
Your arms in the air like you don't care.
Like Groot.
Damn. Great.
He's dancing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, all right. So I let everybody off the hook now, and we'll go ahead and I'll pick number 220.
220.
Okay. If you were possessed by a ghost.
No. What's the weirdest conversation you've eavesdropped on?
Oh, this one.
This. Oh.
The weirdest conversation I've ever eavesdropped on. That's a really good question.
I know I must have eavesdropped on someone on a bus.
I can imagine.
Oh God, jeez! Thank you for reminding. Oh, can I say some of them? Let me think. Weirdest conversation I've eavesdropped on. Let's see. Yeah, it has to be probably something with Weez and Doreen arguing. It has to be, because when they're in Florida, I could hear what they'd argue about during commercials, and they would call each other names that would then yell at each other. And oh God, I can't think anything specific, but it would make me uncomfortable having to live with them. But I wish I could
recall
remember
a time where somebody was. Go ahead, go.
I just wish I could remember like specific quotes from back then, because someone used to just make me laugh. Oh, I don't remember though. But it has to be Weez and Doreen arguing.
How about you, Danny? Because I remember a time when I was in college, but I'm putting Dan on the hot spot so he can start thinking one through.
No, I have one. No, I do have one, but I'm not going to get. I'm going to be very, very, very general about this, very non-specific. But listening to a girl and her mom talk about sex.
Oh wow!
In a public place. It was a public place. It wasn't like a home or something. It was in a public place, and I'm not going to get any more specific than that. But that's I was like, oh, that's interesting conversation.
Okay.
It's pretty open about it too. So yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing right there on that spot. How about you, Ton?
I've been thinking this entire time, and I'm like, I am like drawing a blanket. Things that
a blanket.
Yes. Ooh, I like blankets.
Is it a fuzzy blanket?
Anything from your students?
Yes, mine says precious cargo over here.
Anything for your students? Yeah, good point, Bill.
There's some things that I just have to remind them that it's probably not appropriate to be talking about to each other inside the classroom. But nothing that I can really get into any general details. I think it's
it's funny because most of us are, we're thinking it's all uncomfortable. What are we thinking of? Okay, most of it involves some sort of intimacy, and pointed, are we that embarrassed by it? Are we really that embarrassed talking about sex?
I have to maintain confidentiality, so I can't really.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have the legal thing, but we've all kind of backed away from that type of intimation, which is I think it's kind of interesting. That's a point in and of itself to a particular degree, I would assume. So. I don't know, something to think about. I remember, like I said, I can't remember. Oh God, let me think of the details. I was on a city bus. I was heading to school, so it must have been like my junior year at Fisher before I completely dropped out and gave up on college for the time being. So I was not a commuter, and I was commuter. I was not living on campus, and I to this day I have a distinct feeling that these guys were putting on a show for the crowd, kind of a thing. But they were talking about it was almost like the visuals that they were putting together was almost like a Blue Man Group kind of a thing, but they were implying that it was because of aliens that they were doing it. So they were talking, well, did you see them last week? Yes, of course I saw them last week. They stopped by. There was this whole thing going on. And I just remember being insanely amused. And at one point I did the obligatory looking up and accidentally made eye contact. And one of them was grinning. So that's kind of was the giveaway that he was doing it intentionally to see what kind of reaction he'd get from people around him. It was very odd. It was almost like Monty Python meets Blue Man Group meets all of the worst connotations of UFO observers, and I overheard it, and they were talking about it. I've never overheard anybody planning a bank robbery or something like that, but I do remember kind of that conversation sticks in my head. Anybody else?
Okay, well, mine is a little bit weird. So it was about 7 or 8 months after Wade and I had been dating, and he had asked me to go to the farm store to get penicillin. Mind you, it's not for humans, it's for animals. It's bovine penicillin, and it comes in a giant freaking vial. So I'm in line and I'm waiting for my turn because, it's what you do. And there's these 3 farmers behind me. And at first I wasn't paying attention, but they were talking about how plump and tight something was.
Oh boy.
And the words that they used, and they're like, yeah, we bred them that way. Look at how nice those hips are. And then look how tight those are. And they're like pointing at a picture. They were talking about, and then how they were going to breed them in by buying this specific semen.
Oh no.
They were talking about udders, hips on a cow, and buying mass quantities of a certain genetic material to breed their cows to get certain aspects of a cow that they need for good milking quality. And I had no idea. I was turning red listening because I didn't know they were talking about cows at first. Uh-huh. And I got home and I said to my husband, I think they were talking about my breeding hips. And he's like, no, they're talking about cows. He's like, the new C-Mex catalog came out today. Oh, wow. And that was when I learned about C-Mex and the inventory we keep frozen.
Yes.
But I was bright red.
That wins. That beats anything any of us could bring to the table right there on the spot. Hands down. Billy, you have homework, though. I want you to try and recall an actual story.
I actually, this wasn't necessarily overheard. We were actually at lunch with Weeze and Doreen, and this popped in my head when she announced to me and my other coworkers, a guy named Scott I worked with at the time, and it was back at CMF. I can't believe he fell asleep while I was wearing his mirror.
It's Weeze. You got to expect stuff like that. You really do. Oh my God, that man. He's a legend, that man.
So that made me laugh.
That's funny. That is. Oh man. All right. I say that do we have enough? That's a wrap at this point?
Yes.
Have we done enough damage to our humanity? Our psyches. I love you guys. I really do. All right. So, hey, Dan.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Chris.
Hit it. Because this has been FC3's Monkey Business, a product of the Mighty Monkey Corporation, purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic-Con, coming at you like a spider monkey, September 25th and 26th at the Total Sports Experience in Gates. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Linktree, and we will follow us wherever we go. We will always lead you to where the entertainment is. You guys have a great week. Have a safe week, and we will talk to you again next week.
Dun, dun.